larger, more complex story. The camera may capture smiles, glances, and brief touches, but what we don't see is the emotional dynamics behind them. Tian Xuning and Zi Yu are now the center of public attention, as the two have managed to create such strong chemistry that it is difficult to distinguish between acting and reality. And this is where the question arises: is all of this just a coincidence? Or is there a secret they are hiding behind the scenes? Since they first appeared together in their latest project, Tian Xuning's gaze towards Zi Yu seems to hold 1,000 unspoken words. The camera does capture those moments, but the audience senses something deeper. There is a vibration that cannot be explained by logic. Fans began compiling videos showing how Tian Xuning's eyes always followed Zi Yu, even when the focus should have been on someone else. Not only that, but every time Zi Yu smiled, Tian Xuning's expression changed, from ordinary to full of tenderness. Isn't this too natural to be just acting? Even more surprising, evidence of off-camera interactions began to emerge. There is a short video showing Tian Xuning fixing Zi Yu's hair when the wind was blowing strongly on the set. The fans who recorded it cheered because the gesture was too intimate to be called simply friendly. Then there is also a recording of Zi Yu unhesitatingly giving her drink to Tian Xuning. In fact, many people know that drinks are usually provided in abundance on set. Why did Zi Yu have to share his? Why did Tian Xuning accept it without hesitation, as if it were normal? Questions piled up. The internet, especially social media, is a place where gossip easily spreads. As soon as a photo or video hinting at their closeness appeared, thousands of comments immediately flooded the post. "I'm sure they're really together," wrote one fan. "No, it's all a marketing ploy," argued another. Two camps formed: those who believed that Tian Xuning and Zi Yu's relationship was real, and those who thought it was all part of the entertainment industry's strategy to create the ideal couple in the public eye. However, the more they denied it, the more curious the fans became. Because in reality, the visual evidence was too much and too consistent to be ignored. What made everything even more confusing was how genuine their expressions looked. Zi Yu often chuckled whenever Tian Xuning was near her. It wasn't a fake laugh, but a reflexive laugh of sincere comfort. On the other hand, Tian Xuning's gaze is often meaningful, as if there is something he wants to say, but is holding back because the cameras are rolling. His eyes cannot lie. There is a feeling that is difficult to hide, as if their hearts are communicating without words. The question was, were they ready if the secret was revealed? Or did they choose to stay behind the scenes, letting the public continue to guess without ever getting a definite answer? However, that was precisely where the power of this story lay. The more they tried to hide it, the more the public felt that there was something to hide. Fans are sensitive. They know when a smile is a formality and when a touch comes from sincerity. Every small movement Tian Xuning makes, every spontaneous reaction Zi Yu has, is like a puzzle piece that, when put together, forms a bigger picture. There is unspoken love, but it is hard to deny. There are certain moments when the camera is not recording the scene, but the behind-the-scenes spotlight is still on. That's where many fans feel they find the strongest evidence. For example, when Zi Yu unconsciously leans closer to Tian Xuning while laughing, or when Tian Xuning always makes sure Zi Yu is safe whenever they are in a crowd of crew members. That's not part of the script, but the natural reflex of someone who cares. And perhaps this is the biggest secret they cannot hide: comfort. Comfort is something that cannot be faked. When two people appear so free, so natural, and so in tune with each other, the outside world can immediately sense it. No matter how hard they try to hide it, that comfort will still shine through. And for many people, that comfort is proof of love that is stronger than words. The entertainment industry thrives on fantasy. Audiences love to believe in the beautiful love stories they see on screen. However, there are times when that fantasy is born from a reality that cannot be hidden. And in the case of Tian Xuning Zi Yu, the line between reality and fantasy is becoming increasingly blurred. Some fans insist that the two are just professional colleagues. However, many also believe that there is a special relationship behind all their interactions. Fans have even started creating timeline theories. When the two started to get close, small moments that showed a change in attitude to possible codes that they inserted in interviews. Whatever the truth is, one thing is clear. Their relationship, real or not, has successfully enchanted the public. Of course, there are plenty of skeptics. Some argue that all these interactions are carefully planned by their management, that every glance, every smile, and every gesture is actually part of a grand scheme to boost the popularity of their project. On the other hand, the public also knows that genuine emotions are difficult to fake. A loving gaze cannot simply be forced. A smile born of comfort is also difficult to imitate. This is what makes many people believe that there is something deeper than just strategy. In the end, Tian Xuning Zi Yu seem to live in two worlds, the scripted world of the stage and the real world full of secrets. In front of the camera, they are the ideal couple that captivates the audience. But behind the scenes, they may be living a love story that they are trying to hide. And this is what makes their story so interesting, because mystery is always the biggest attraction. Every time they step onto the stage or attend an interview, both of them have to wear a professional mask. They have to convince the public that all of this is just part of their job, that their chemistry is just acting technique. But once the cameras are turned off, many eyewitnesses claim to see a big change. Their smiles become more relaxed, their body language more free, and the look between them deeper, as if the world around them no longer matters. It is this difference between the two worlds that makes the public even more fascinated. Fans begin to see Tian Xuning Zi Yu not only as actors or entertainment stars, but as ordinary people caught between the demands of the industry and their personal feelings. Every time they tried to cover it up, the public became even more convinced that there was something real they were protecting. And this tension fueled endless sensationalism. The stage may have given them popularity, but the real world gave them comfort. When the two were brought together in a project, it was as if fate was playing with them, forcing them to balance between their true feelings and the shadows of their roles. And that's where fans feel involved in a real-life drama, a love story that must be concealed, but can never truly be hidden. Now, after all the pieces of this story have been revealed, we return to the original question. Are you sure all of this is just a coincidence? Are they really just professional colleagues? Or are we witnessing a love story slowly unfolding before our eyes? One thing is certain. Whatever the truth may be, the story of Tian Xuning Zi Yu has been etched in the public's heart. They have created a sensation, sparked debate, and left behind a mystery that may only be answered by time. And until that day comes, we will all continue to speculate, search for clues, and wonder, is this love real, or just a reflection on the screen? Either way, the secrets behind the scenes are what keep us talking about them. Because in every glance, in every smile, there is a story waiting to be told.